So, dear students, good morning to all of you. I'm very happy. Today, it is 4th April 2024. Time is 11 a.m., you can say. So now we will have this practical class on different aspects, mainly on the estimation of crop yield on the basis of yield attributes. Whatever crops we have, rice, wheat, maize, many cereal crops, and some pulses, we need to calculate the yield, the estimated yield in advance. So that exercise we will do. We will also try to learn to compute or to calculate grain yield efficiency index, which is also very important, particularly when you are going for screening of genotypes. Some genotypes are efficient and some are inefficient. So that practical we will also do now. And other is computation of seed rate for rice nursery. You know how rice crop is grown by transplanted method. For transplanting, you need some seedlings. So seedlings or the plants, young plants are required for transplanting, and these young plants are raised in an area, which is your rice nursery area. So how to calculate the seed rate for rice nursery area to plant 1 hectare crop of rice. So therefore, these are the exercises that we are going to do now. So friends, you know how rice is grown. Rice is grown by two methods. One is by direct seeding, other is by transplanted method. So definitely you need some seedlings when you go for transplanting of rice crop. And these seedlings are to be raised in the nursery. You can see on the screen. And nursery can be prepared by different methods. There are a number of methods by which rice nursery is prepared across the world. One of the important method is dry seeding or dry seeding. In dry seeding, you prepare the field like you prepare the field for wheat and maize, and then you do the sowing under drying condition. That means you have to go for pre-sowing irrigation in this case, and after pre-sowing irrigation, your field will come in condition in next 3-4 days, and then you can do plowing and prepare the field and do the sowing by country plow, by seed drill, or by hand also. So direct seeding is done in dry seeding. Then there is one more method which is called as Dapog method. Dapog method or MET method that is also used, and also modified MET method is also there. But across the world, in most of the Asian country, the most common method is wet seeded nursery. Means nursery is prepared under wet conditions. First you go for puddling of the land, and after puddling you prepare the fields, and then you go for seeding of the pre-germinated seed of rice. So that is your wet method of nursery. So what should be the optimum seed rate for wet method of nursery? We are going to learn in this. So normally speaking, in case of rice, for fine seeded varieties, you need 20 to 25 kg seed. For medium seeded varieties, 25 to 30 kg seed per hectare, and bold seeded varieties, 30 to 35 kg per hectare. So friends, for hybrids, it is 18 to 20 kg per hectare. So these are the general seed requirement. But here you can see ranges are given. Some ranges 20 to 25 kg, 25 to 30 kg, 30 to 35 kg. These ranges are given from particularly from the point of view that the seed rate varies. The seed rate varies with the variety. If you have different sizes of the seed rate may be different. And also it depends upon the germination percentage of the seed. Higher the germination percentage of the seed, you need less seed. Less is the germination percentage of the seed, you need more seed. Finer is the seed, you need less seed. Bolder is the seed, you need more seed. So these are the certain criteria based upon which you decide the seed. Similarly, if your nursery, if you're planting is done at narrow spacing, that means you need more plants, more seedling, then you need more seed rate. If your planting spacing in the main field is wider, then you need less number of seedlings or less seed rate. So therefore, there are many factors that will decide the seed rate in rice nursery. So if you have higher seed rate, you will need more nursery area. Generally speaking, you need one-tenth area of nursery for a 1 hectare plant. Suppose you have 1 hectare area, then 1/10 will be 1000 meter square. That means 1000 meter square nursery area will be required. So as you see in the current slide, that seed rate or nursery area would also vary. The seed requirement will vary with the variety as it is written, variety and plant spacing. And also number of seedlings you are going to transplant in one place. Normally 2 to 3 seedlings are planted in one place. If you want to plant 4 seedling or more seedling, then you need more seed rate. Similarly, if you decrease the number of seedling per hill, then you need less seedling, less seed rate. So many factors affect the seed rate. And then of course, the seed germination and survival of the seedling. So germination is also important. Less germination means you need more seed rate, and more germination means you need less seed rate. And survival of the seedling. Of course, there may be good germination of the seed in the nursery area, but it does not mean that all the seedlings will survive. Sometimes there is death of the seedlings when you grow them in the nursery. So, dear students, are you listening to it? I mean, if you have...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are listening you.
Okay. So now I have question that in this case, as I told you, that survival of seedling is not 100%. Some of the seedlings, when you grow them in the nursery, they may die. So here my question is, what could be the reason why the seedlings of rice die in nursery? You are not audible, Kalimullah. Other person can speak. Fazli.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, why some seedlings die in nursery when you prepare rice nursery? Have you ever seen
Yes,
rice nursery? Yeah.
Sir, maybe there would be many reasons that the seedlings are dying in the nursery, sir.
Okay, there may be many reasons, but can you tell me any one reason or two reasons? Anyone else who is having connectivity? Aga?
Actually, in the initial stage, and there will be effect of the plant will be sensitive, and there will be too much of this diseases pathogen. So I think one causes of this will be this pathogen.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Yes,
sir.
So you are right. So there can be two reasons you can remember. Very simple, biotic and abiotic reasons. So he is talking about biotic reasons like certain disease and insect pests. Sometimes they can damage the seedling and seedling can die because of diseases or insect pests. That is true. And here you can have some abiotic reasons also. Abiotic reasons means there may be in some places you can get very high temperatures, or in some places you can also get low temperatures. So because of some adverse temperature conditions, seedling can die. This is one reason. Another reason, sometimes there can be salinity or acidity in the soil. Means soil conditions are not good, not in favor of seedlings. So because of certain abiotic stresses like salinity, there may be death of the seedlings. Another reason could be the nutritional disorders. There may be deficiency of certain nutrients, particularly iron deficiency. Iron deficiency is quite common in wet-seeded nursery. So iron deficiency, because of iron deficiency, seedlings can die. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very nice. Do you have any question at this stage?
No question, sir.
So I request you to get ready with your questions. You can ask me questions and I will try to answer your questions. Whenever you
Okay,
have
thank
a
you, sir.
question, stop me.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, you are not audible. You are not audible.
Yes, sir.
So now, friends, you see the area per hectare, how much area is required. Suppose you are going to transplant rice seedlings in 1 hectare area. So you can see the area per hectare. This is 10,000 meter square. Suppose this is your field where you want to transplant your rice. That is 1 hectare, which is equivalent to 100 meter by 100 meter. That means 10,000 meter square. Now, next thing is that how many hills per hectare? Means how many hills per hectare in 1 hectare area, at how many places you are going to transplant the seedling. So you know there are different spacing in rice transplanting. When you transplant rice, it can be transplanted at 20 by 20 centimeter. Sometimes it can be 20 by 10 centimeter. Depending upon the varieties, you have the transplanting spacing. So here you can assume that transplanting spacing is 20 by 20 centimeter. Then you need to work out that at how many places you need to transplant, or how many seedlings will be required if you transplant 1 seedling in 1 place. So that means 10,000 meter square divided by 20 centimeter into 20 centimeter, because this is the spacing, and you are going to calculate the number of plants that are needed. So it is very easy. Agronomy student understand this, because the numerator, which is 10,000, it is in meter square. Therefore, denominator has to be in meter. So 20 centimeter means 0.2 meter into 0.2 meter. If you divide this 10,000 by 0.2 into 0.2, you get 250,000 hills per hectare. That means so many seedlings will be required. If you plant 1 seedling in 1 place, so many seedlings will be required in 1 hectare area. Now, suppose you are planting 4 seedlings in 1 place, 4 seedlings per hill, then it will be 4 times. So your requirement of the seedling was 250,000. You multiplied by 4 times, so it comes out to be 10 to the power 6. 10 to the power 6, or you can say, is it 1 million? It is 1 million seedling. Now next will be how many seeds will be needed. So 1 million 10 to the power 6 seeds will be needed. Is it okay? So many
Okay,
seeds
sir.
if you plant 4 seedlings in 1 place. So now we need to calculate the weight of 1 million seeds. What will be the weight of 1 million seeds? So in this case, we know the 1,000 seed weight. How much is the 1,000 seed weight? So normally 1,000 seed weight is 20 to 30 gram in rice. This is the range. Suppose the variety which you are going to plant, which you are going to have sowing, suppose that particular variety have 25 gram as 1,000 seed weight. Okay, so now we know that the weight of the 1,000 seed is 25 gram. So what will be weight of 10 to the power 6 seeds? So this is how we can calculate how much seed needed to plant 1 hectare. So you know this 10 to the power 6 divided by 25. So actually this 25 by 1,000. So you get 25,000 gram. 25,000 gram, or you can say 25 kilogram. So this is how you can calculate the seed. So now now you understand how this 25 kg has come. Now what is the germination, percentage germination for rice seed? Now you need to adjust for the germination, because this 25 is assumed when you have 100% germination. But it is not practically possible to always have 100% germination. So you need to adjust for the germination. So here range is 50 to 90%. Normally in rice, germination percent is 50 to 90%. Suppose mean is 70%. Suppose your seed which you are using has 70% germination. Now you need to increase the seed. At 70% germination, how much seed needed? I think your mathematics is very good. So 70% can be written as 0.7. So 25 divided by 0.7, now your seed has been increased to 36% because your germination was 70%. So you need to increase the seed to 36 kilogram now. This 0.7 means 70 by 100. That means 0.7. Now, not all the germinated seed will survive. So there may be death of the seedling as I was talking to you. So what percentage of seedlings survive in wet nursery? So normally survival rate is 50 to 90%. And taking example that your seedlings survival will be 70%. Assume it, just assume that your seedling survival is 70%. Then you need to adjust again this 70% in this 25 kg. Finally, how much seed needed to plant 1 hectare? Then you need to have 25 divided by 0.7 into 0.7. 1.7 means 70%. This is for germination percent. And another 0.7% means this is for survival percent of the seedling, which is 70%. So 70 by 100, 0.7. So 25 divided by 0.7 into 0.7, it comes out to be 51 kilogram per hectare. So see how the seed rate has been decided. Seed rate depends upon the test weight of the variety, the germination percentage of the variety, and also the survival of the seedling. So this is how one can easily calculate the seed rate for wet seeded nursery. So do you have any question?
No, sir, it's clear, I think.
No questions.
Clear, very nice. So now I give you one exercise if you can try. Do you have pen and paper with you?
Yes, sir.
So just I'm giving you this example. Calculate seed rate of rice needed to transplant 1 hectare area based upon the following information for wet bed nursery. So suppose in last case you got 20 into 20 centimeter spacing. Here spacing is 20 by 10 centimeter square. In last case you have used 4 seedlings per hill. Here you need to just double it. Here you need to use 2 seedling per hill. And 1000 seed weight in the last case, it was 25 gram. Now it is 30 gram. And germination of the seed is 90%. And seedling survival is 80%. So you can see this. With this information, kindly calculate the seed rate. Or I can show you again this exercise, how we did it. You can put these same values. So you can do like this. Area is 10,000 meter square. Spacing here 10,000. Here you can put 0.2 into 0.1. And then you will get the seedlings for 1 hectare. And then you are planting 2 seedlings in one place. Then you can double it. Here it was 4 times. Then you can do it 2 times. And then you have worked out the number of seeds. And then the seed weight here is 25. In your example, it is 30 gram. And how much seed will be needed? This is how you found 25 kg. And then percentage germination is 70%. In your case, you can see how much it is, 90%, I think. And then again, the survival percentage will be there, 80%. So this is the information. Based upon this, you are requested to do this exercise and tell me the answer. Can you do it?
Okay, sir. Yes, we can calculate.
Yeah, calculate and tell me the answer.
Okay, sir.
If you need hint again, you ask me, I will show you hint again. But please do it yourself.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So see the last line, number 6. This is, you can see the number of seeds. This was 1 million into 25 by 1000. This is weight of one seed actually. 25 by 1000 is the weight of one seed. So how much weight will be there for 10 to the power 6 seed? So many grams. And gram can be converted into kilogram. So just giving you hints.
Okay, sir.
So whenever you finish, kindly tell me the answer.
Okay, sir.
Have you done it? Hello?
Yes, sir. We are calculating just few
Okay.
seconds. It is needed.
So this is before you. This is very simple.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Calculations are before you and you can do it. This is the time to learn such exercises.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what is
Actually, sir, we do, sir, 50,000.
it is too high, I think. Maybe in gram.
Okay, sir. I calculated. It comes 41.666.
Okay. Now you check your answers. I'm showing you correct answer. So this is, you can check your answer. So here 2 seedlings per hill are to be planted. You can see here. Plant spacing is 20 into 10 centimeter, you can see. And 2 seedlings per hill are to be transplanted. And 1000 seed weight is 30 gram. And germination is 90% and seedling survival 80%. So number of hills you need to calculate. Here hills means number of places where you are going to transplant seedling. Okay. So actually this is meter, 100 meter into 100 meter or 100 meter into 100 meter. And this is, okay. Here this is number of hills per meter square. In 1 meter square, how many hills will be needed? Not in 10,000 meter square. Okay, this is a very simple calculation. So here,
Yes, sir.
1 meter square means 100 centimeter into 100 centimeter. And divided by 20 into 10. To make the calculation simple, I did it. First, we will calculate the number of hills in 1 meter square, and then we can calculate in 10,000 meter square. Same way, in last case also, we could do 100 centimeter into 100 centimeter and divided by 20 into 20. That means you will get 25 hills per meter square. And this 25 can be multiplied by 10,000 to get the number of hills in 1 hectare area. So here you can simply see 100 centimeter into 100 centimeter divided by 20 by 10. So there are 50 hills per meter square. In 1 meter square area, you will need 50 hills. So number of hills in 1 hectare per hectare will be 50 into 10,000. So there will be 5 lakh hills. That means you will need 5 lakh seeds.
1 million.
It is not 5 million, it is 0.5 million.
5 million. 5 million.
0.5 million, I think. It is not 5 million. Seedlings, number of seed required for 1 hectare, because in one place you are going to have 2 seedling. That means 2 seed. So you 5 lakh multiplied by 2, you get 10 to the power 6. 10 to the power 6. This is 1 million. And then weight of 1 seed. Weight of 1 seed, because 1000 seed have 30 gram weight. So 1 seed will have 0.03 gram weight, isn't it? So weight of 10 to the power 6 seeds, these are the seeds, is equal to 10 to the power 6 into 0.03 gram. This is the weight of 1 seed. These are very simple calculations you should know. So then you multiply this and you get 30 kg. So here it is 30 kg. Now we move further. Is it understood to everyone, this?
Yes, sir.
Because here it was in gram, now it is in kg. So therefore 10 to the power 6, now you have 10 to the power 3, because now it is in kg. And then 30 kg. Is it okay to everyone?
Yes, sir. It is okay now.
Clear, very simple.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Now seed germination is 90%. Now we need to adjust because there will be 10% death. 10% seed will not germinate. So therefore we need to increase the seed. So if 90 kg seed germinate, then seed requirement is 100 kg. If 1 kg seed germinate, then seed requirement is 100 by 90. If 30 kg seed germinate, seed requirement will be 30 into 100 by 90. So you will get some value. Similarly, seedling survival is 80%. If seedling of 80 kg seed survive, seed requirement is 100. And if seedling of 1 kg survive, then 100 by 80 kg. So if 33.33, in the last case, it was 33.33, answer is not shown here. Okay. So now 33.33 into 100 by 80, you get 41.66 kg. Somebody calculated very correctly. Somebody.
Sir, I calculated the same, sir, 41.66.
Okay, very happy to see it. So I think most of you can do this numerical, but this is very, very important. And this knowledge you can extend to other crops also. It is not
Okay, sir, thank you.
it is not just for rice. Suppose you are calculating seed rate for maize. Seed rate for maize. So in that case, suppose your seed rate is fixed. Suppose your seed rate is say in maize, seed rate is say 30 kg or say 40 kg. 40 kg is the seed rate in maize. Then you are told that this is the 1000 seed weight. This is the germination percentage in maize. And this percentage is survival. And this is the spacing. If this kind of information is provided to you, then you can calculate seed rate for maize also. Because tomorrow you will be teaching to your students. So you can repeat these exercises in other crops also. Like for maize, for any crop. For any crop, because in no crop you will find 100% germination. In no crop you will find 100% survival of the seedlings. So therefore, this is important exercise on calculating the seed rate based upon germination percent and survival of the seedling. Is it fine? Any point misunderstood or you want to clarify?
Sir, it is absolutely clear, sir.
Good. Now we move forward. Now you got one more example. Let us try this time also. I'll give you 5 minutes time to do this exercise. Calculate the seed rate of rice needed to transplant 1 hectare area based upon the following information. Now spacing is 20 by 15 centimeters square. Now you have 3 seedlings in one place. 1000 seed weight is 20 gram and seed germination is 85% and seedling survival is 75%. Please do it in 5 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Have you done it? Anybody who has done it? Hello, Rohullah Darwish.
Sir, yes, sir.
Have you done it?
No, sir, still I'm
Okay.
working on this.
I think you don't have computer. You have only mobile phone, and you are using to listen this lectures. I understand.
No, sir, I am connected from my PC computer.
Okay. Then you can calculate.
Okay, thank you.
So I think you must have done it by now. It is third exercise. You are seeing it. So I just show you the answers. Okay.
Okay, sir, okay.
Yeah. Anybody found any answer? Fajli?
Sorry, sir, I have joined delay because this was confusing,
Okay.
especially for me.
Okay. So you can do it at
Okay,
your,
okay. I will try my best, sir.
yeah, you can do it in home. I will share this presentation. So
Okay.
Sir,
yeah. No problem. Don't worry. So I'll share this presentation. I'll send you formula, everything, and then you can do yourself. Okay. Now we move forward. Okay. The next exercise, everybody, I seek attention of everyone. Next exercise is, because you are from agronomy discipline, and you must be using or estimating the yield based upon the yield attribute. Many times you record the data on the yield. You must be doing your field experiments, or you will have you done your MSc research work, or you are still doing completed it or not? You completed your MSc research work?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
So have you recorded the data on growth and yield attribute?
Yes, really.
Yes, sir. So that means, what is the purpose of recording the yield attribute data? The main purpose of recording the yield attribute data is to estimate the yield in advance, so that we can get some idea how much will be the yield, and which is the most important yield contributing factor. We can know the value of the yield contributing factor, which is having highest meaning for yield. So for example, in case of rice, there are many yield attributes. Can you tell me the yield attributes in case of rice or wheat crop? What are the yield attributes in case of rice and wheat crop? Anybody?
Sir, this is number of seed and number of kg per plant per hectare.
Yeah.
This is the
Sir, also computation, also growth stage,
Yeah.
also leaf area index,
Yeah.
and so on.
Okay. So actually, if you see, there are two kind of attributes. One is growth attribute, other is yield attribute. So growth is converted into yield attributes, and yield attributes are converted into yield. So this growth and yield attributes and yield have relations. If your growth is optimum, if you have optimum or good growth, then it may result in better or higher values of yield attributes. If you have higher values of yield attributes or yield contributing characters or parameters or attributes. See, attributes, parameters, and characters, they are the same word. You can call yield attribute, you can call yield contributing factor, yield parameters, or yield characters, etc. So in case of rice, the major yield attribute is number of panicles or number of ear per meter square, or per hectare, you can say, per meter square per hectare. This is number one. Number two is your number of grains per panicle. How many grains are filled? Filled grains per panicle or per spike in wheat. In wheat, you call it a spike. So similarly, 1,000 seed weight. The third important yield attribute is 1,000 seed weight. How much is the 1,000 seed weight of the grains, or you can say. And fourth one is harvest index. Harvest index, you can say, this is also important yield. Harvest index you can calculate separately also, but the basic yield attributes are three in case of rice, as I told you. Number of panicle per meter square, 1,000 seed weight, and number of filled grains per panicle. These are three important yield attributes in case of rice. So now first exercise is on converting the rice yield to white rice yield. You know, rice, when we harvest rice, we go for threshing of this crop, and moisture at that yield level is reported at 14%. So at 14%, we report the yield. The grain yield of rice is reported at 14% moisture, except in a few countries like in Japan, Korea, where it is expressed as brown rice or sometimes polished rice. So in many countries, many places, whenever you harvest the paddy or rice crop, the yield is reported at 14% moisture based upon the whole grain. Now, conversion factor is 1.25 from brown rice yield to white rice yield. I think I have already told you, I already discussed in the theory classes what is brown rice, what is rough rice, and what is white rice. Okay, so I'm sorry, there is some problem with this. Just a minute.
Okay, sir.
So it is shared again. It is going well. And now you see that conversion factor is 1.25 from brown rice yield to rough rice yield. So if you want to convert from brown rice to rough rice, you multiply the value of brown rice by 1.25. Then you will get rough rice yield. Conversion factor of 1.5 milled rice yield to rough rice yield. If you want to calculate rough rice yield from the milled rice yield, then multiply milled rice by 1.5. Is it clear to all of you, this conversion of rough rice to brown rice or milled rice and so on?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now we go to the harvest index and grain star ratio. This is also a very important index. A common way of examining rice grain yield is to measure the total dry weight and dry grain yield, and then compute the ratio of these two. I think you already know about this harvest index, what is meant by harvest index. It is economic yield divided by biological yield. So what is biological yield? Anybody? What is biological yield?
Amount of
Okay, sir.
crop.
Total grain
Grain and straw.
Total grain yield plus straw yield, it is biological yield, sir.
Very good. So you can calculate harvest index and then multiply this value by 100. So normally harvest index is reported in percentage. Or you can say it is dry grain yield divided by total dry weight. Total dry weight with respect to grain and straw. Or you can also calculate indirectly the grain yield is equal to harvest index into total dry weight. So these are the relationship. You will do some exercises on this. I'm just reminding your or refreshing your memories. So total dry weight of a good rice crop is around 10 to 20 tons per hectare. So this is the range. The total dry weight means biological yield. Biological yield of 10 to 20 tons per hectare. So this is air dry yield. Remember, this is air dry yield. So when you harvest the rice, after harvesting 3 days, you leave it under the sun. You leave it under the sun for drying. After drying, you go for threshing. So that kind of weight is actually dry weight. It is not oven dry weight. It is air dry weight. So which is about 10 to 20 tons per hectare. So harvest index is about 0.3 for traditional tall varieties. Your tall varieties or low yielding varieties. Low yielding varieties have about 0.3 means 30%. You multiply it by 100, you will get 30% harvest index. So the variety of rice or any crop which are having low yield, their harvest index is also low. So here it is 30%, but some rice variety, high yielding varieties can also have 0.5, which means 50% harvest index. So normally you see rice yield varies from 3 to 10 tons per hectare. This is the range. So higher the harvest index means higher should be the yield. The grain star ratio similar to the harvest index and extensively used in the past is a ratio of dry grain yield to dry straw weight. So it depends upon your interest. You can also have grain to straw ratio. The grain to straw ratio similar to harvest index and used in past is a ratio of dry grain yield to dry straw yield. The grain straw ratio of rice ranges from about 0.5 to traditional tall varieties to 1% in improved. 1% means equal, the same quantity of grain and same quantity of straw. If you have higher than 1, however, it is not possible, normally not possible, which means it will be very high yield. Suppose it is 1.2, means your grain yield will be very high. So it is not normally the case. Normally, you can have up to 50% harvest index in cereal crops. Now, you see the yield attributes in case of rice or in case of any other cereal crop also. So, panicle per meter square is yield attribute, panicle length, panicle weight, number of spikelets per panicle, spikelet fertility. Spikelet fertility means filled grains and 1000 grain weight. So we will take one by one. I will make you understand what is panicles per meter square. So suppose you go to the paddy field or rice field and you mark 1 meter square area. You mark 1 meter square area. In that 1 meter square area, you can count the panicles. How many panicles are there? Or how many plants of the rice have the ear, E-A-R, ear. So ear bearing or panicle bearing number of the plants, we can count. That is panicle per meter square. Panicle length can also be measured. Length of the panicle in case of rice, which may be about 25 centimeter, 30 centimeter, etc. Panicle weight can also be counted. The whole panicle weight can be counted. You can take 10 panicles and take the average weight. So panicle weight can be counted. Number of spikelets per panicle. So in case of rice, each spikelet may have single grain or may not have grain. So it is number of grains in a panicle. How many grains are filled or how many spikelets are filled. So that is your fertility percentage. So filled grains. Suppose one panicle of rice have 110 spikelets. Spikelets, I taught you already what is a spikelet in rice. So suppose there are 120 spikelets in rice and 20 spikelets do not have grain. 20 spikelets do not have grain means only 100 grains will be the filled grains. 100 grains will be the filled grains. So you can calculate the fertility percentage. 100 into 100 divided by 120. Can you do this? You can calculate the fertility percentage. Means out of total spikelets, how many spikelets are having grains, the filled grains. So there may be some unfilled spikelets. Certain spikelets may not have grain in them. Those spikelets will be unfilled. So here suppose there are total 120 spikelets, out of which 20 grains are unfilled, 20 spikelets are unfilled, and 100 spikelets are filled. So what will be the fertility percentage? It will be 100 into 100 divided by 120. What is the answer? What is your answer?
Yes, sir. 100
into 100 divided by 120.
Okay, sir. It is 83.333.
Okay. So this is actually fertility percentage. And now if you want to calculate unfertile or unfilled spikelets, then 20 into 100 divided by 120. Okay. Do it. 20 into 100 divided by 120. How much it is?
Sir, it is 1.666.
1.666. No, it should be 17, somewhere 17. 20 into 100 divided by 120. Or you can say 2000 divided by 120. 2000 divided by 120.
Okay, sir. It becomes 16.666.
Okay, 16.666. So 16.67 plus 83.33. So it comes out to be 100%.
100%, yes, sir.
Okay. So I think everybody can calculate it. If you are given a simple numerical that there are so many spikelets in a panicle and so many spikelets are filled and so many spikelets are unfilled. Filled means they have grain. Unfilled means they do not have grain. So that is why you can calculate the fertility percentage in panicle. This is very simple exercise that each one of you should know.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so this is how you can do it. And then 1000 grain weight. You know how we can take the 1000 grain weight? You can count the filled grains. You can count about 100 filled grains, take their weight and multiply it by 10, you will get the weight in gram. So 1000 seed weight can also be calculated. So these are the important yield attributes in case of rice. And what somebody was saying about leaf area index, tiller number or plant height or leaf number per plant or dry matter accumulation, relative growth rate, RGR, NAR, etc., etc. These are actually growth parameters or these
Growth parameters, yes, sir.
growth attributes. They are not yield attributes. Yield attributes are before you. Similarly, if you have pulse crop, pulses like mung bean or your black-eyed bean, lobia, cowpea, or any other pulses, in pulses, yield attributes are slightly different. Different means in pulses, you will have yield attributes like number of primary branches, number of secondary branches, total branches, and then you will have number of pods, PODs, pods per plant. how many pods are there in one plant, how many plants are there in 1 meter square, and how many seeds are there in one pod, number of seeds per pod, POD pod, and then what is the 1,000 seed weight. So these are the yield attribute in pulses. In cereals, yield attributes are before you. So same seed yield attributes are there in barley, same are there in wheat also, rice, wheat, barley, etc. Or even oats, OAT oats. Now friends, see this example, how these yield attributes are important in deciding the final yield in case of rice. So you can see here simple figure that you need to understand. I'll make you understand how. Just a minute. Now you see a sowing. We start with the sowing. How this grain yield can be manipulated. Grain yield can be increased. So from the very beginning, we need to take care of the plant. We need to take care of the crop. So here you see, first we need more panicles per unit area. Grain yield is equal to more panicle per unit area. So here, if your tilling is more, then you will get more panicles per unit area in case of rice. So here you need to promote the tilling of rice. If you want higher yields, you need to get promoting the number of tillers. More tillers means generally more panicles per unit area. Then spikelets per panicle. I was talking about filled spikelet. How many grains are there? Filled grains are there in one panicle. And this is to be decided by several factors like here you see panicle formation model. So there are a number of factors that will affect the spikelet per panicle. How many spikelet will be there? You want more spikelet. You want more filled grains in rice. For doing this, there should be optimum moisture in the soil. Optimum moisture in the soil. Optimum nitrogen management or nutrient management has to be there. There should be ideal temperature also. Sometimes adverse temperature. If temperature is too high, then it can affect the spikelet fertility. Spikelet fertility is maximum at 33.3 degrees centigrade temperature. You can remember this for rice. 33.3 degrees centigrade temperature is the best for having higher spikelet fertility. And then comes the this fertility and then weight of a single grain. How much is the weight of a single grain? So if somebody asks you calculate the yield of rice, grain yield of rice, you should estimate or compute. Then you can multiply these four things to get the grain yield of rice. Here we are estimating the grain yield of rice, which is panicles per meter square or per unit area into spikelets per panicle. How many total spikelets are there? How many total spikelets are there? And out of which, how many are fertile? So into fertility percentage of the spikelet and then weight of a single grain. So here to get the weight of a single grain, if you have data on 1,000 seed weight, then you can convert into one seed weight. Suppose 1,000 seed weight is 30 gram. So 30 divided by 1,000, you will get weight of one seed. Weight of one seed will be 0.03. Or you can divide 3 by 1,000, you can calculate. It will be 0.003 gram. Is it fine? Is it understood to you how to calculate the grain yield of rice?
Okay, sir.
You multiply four things to obtain the grain yield, compute the grain yield of rice. So here it is written also. Now there is numerical problem here. You can see this is a small numerical problem here. You can check it. Calculate the number of hills. Please note down the answers also because I may give you one exercise here. So calculate the number of hills and panicles per square meter, assuming plant spacing as 25 centimeter into 25 centimeter and number of panicles per hill. At one hill or at one place, number of panicle is 20. So now you need to calculate the number of hills and panicles per square meter. So like you did in the last example, here you need to calculate area per hill. Means in one place, one place, if you are transplanting one seedling, how much area is occupied? So you know the spacing is 25 by 25. This is in centimeters. So 25 centimeter into 25 centimeter is equal to 625 square centimeter. So this much area is occupied by one plant. It is occupied by one plant. That means you can convert it into meter square. If you want to convert it into meter square, you divide it by 100 into 100, or you can say 10,000. So if you divide 625 by 10,000, you get 0.0625 square meter. So this many square meter is the area occupied by single plant or single hill. One hill will occupy this much of area. So now you need to calculate in 1 meter square. In 1 meter square, how many hills will be there? How many hills will be there? Hills means a place in the field where you have transplanted the rice seedling. That place in rice is known as hill. Number of hills per meter square. So you know area is 1 meter into 1 meter, and area divided by spacing. You have already done for 1 hectare. How many hills will be there? You did it 10,000 divided by the spacing in meter square. Same way here you are taking just 1 meter square. In 1 meter square, how many hills will be there? So 1 meter square means 1 meter into 1 meter and divided by spacing in meter square. So spacing, you know, it is 0.0625 and area is in meter square, 1 meter square by 0.0625. So the seedling is, the hills are 16. That means in 1 meter square area, you have 16 hills of rice. Is it okay to everyone?
Okay, sir, now it is clear.
Clear, okay. Now, number of panicles per hill, because it is given in your question that number of panicles per hill means in one hill, in one place after tilling, total plants were 20 or total plants which were having panicle bearing plants were 20. So in one place, now you need to multiply this 20 by 16. So this will be total number of panicles in 1 meter square area. In 1 meter square area in rice, you will have 320 panicles. Now, if number of panicles is normally less than 250 in 1 square meter, then something went wrong. Something went wrong because this is too small number. 250 are not good for high yield. So that is why we are measuring the number of panicles so that we can get some idea of the rice yield. If your panicle number is too small, less than 250, that means your yield will be very low. So you need some ideal, some best number of panicles to get more yields. However, the number of panicle will be decided by the farming practices, the kind of management, the variety. Some variety may be high tilling, some variety may be low tilling, and soil conditions, and also spacing, fertilizer application. All the management factors will affect the number of panicles per square meter. Even your insect pest management is also important. Some diseases can reduce the number of panicles. So this is also important. So every stage of growth contributes to grain yield. And management is necessary at all the stages. So efficient management is necessary, and environmental factors also affect every stage. So you can see to achieve higher number of panicles per meter square, we should take care of the crop from the very starting. We should have good drainage facility, good irrigation, good fertilizer management, good insect pest and disease management, good weed management, and efficient varieties or high yielding varieties. Then we can have higher number of panicles per meter square. Do you have any question at this stage?
No, sir.
No question.
No, sir. No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Now see this part you try to understand clearly, because I will give you exercises on this. So you can see In the last case, just I will show you. I have given you this formula. Grain yield is equal to panicles per unit area or per meter square, spikelets per panicle, fertility percentage, and weight of a single grain. So this formula can be modified, and this formula can be written like this. So it becomes very easy for you to remember this formula. You must remember this formula. You will be asked one numerical in the exam, final exam, and this can also help you to teach your students how to calculate the grain yield of rice. And this idea can be extended to other cereal crops like your barley, like your wheat or oats. So grain yield in ton per hectare. Remember the unit here is directly you can calculate the grain yield in tons per hectare. So grain yield is equal to tons per hectare is equal to panicle number per meter square. How many panicles are there in 1 meter square? I have shown you how to calculate the panicles in 1 meter square. If you are given the spacing, and number of panicles per hill, then you can calculate the panicle number per meter square. In the last case, you have seen how it was calculated. You were given some spacing. You divided 1 meter by the spacing in 1 meter. You got some values, and then you were also given that one hill has say some number of panicles.
لاړې پسې لاړې بیا مې ونه لیدې.
بېرته راغی.
څنګه چې لکه چې خلاص شو ملګرو.
نه استاد په دقیقه وکړ کوم مشکل.
ښه والله ډېر ستړي کړو فضلي صاحب.
ډېر به غواړم.
سر دی لا سر ده.